Alright guys, what is going on? So today I do have another Pokemon X on Wi-Fi battle, except this one is extremely special. This one is the first gym battle for the Litheo League. Now, this is against a very good friend of mine named DooD. He is the Poison Gym Leader, obviously, if you can tell by the typing. He is Poison, I don't know. I don't know, maybe he could be, I don't know, it's Poison, obviously. So, whenever I found out that he was the Poison Gym Leader, I was like, okay, so Greninja, Extrasensory, Earthquake, Steel type, and Ghost type. I have to make sure that I have those couple things just so I can always, like manipulate him in whatever way possible. And I look at the Golbat and the Crobat, and I'm like, you know what? I have got to get up the Stealth Rocks, otherwise I am screwed. So I'm going to press play, and we are going to get this battle started. Make sure you guys leave a like down below, because I'm so excited for the Litheo League that I don't think you guys understand. As soon as they said that we could start battling, I started like tweeting at all the different leaders, and I was like, hey, we got a battle, because I'm excited. So he starts off with his Crobat. Now, I don't think he realized that this is a Scarfed Garchomp with Stealth Rocks. I do that just so I can ensure that no matter what, the Stealth Rocks are up. He's going to go for a U-turn, and that is going to do a decent amount of damage, honestly, which I kind of didn't really expect. But he's going to get hurt by the Rough Skin, and whenever he comes back in, he's going to get hurt by the Stealth Rocks as well. So that's really, really good for me. He's going to go into his Bruce, and Golbat is a very bulky Pokemon, which I used Golbat before, like, a long time ago. I mean, like, before I even had my YouTube. I'm going to go into my Aegislash, predicting the Toxic. It didn't affect me. That was perfect. He's going to switch out, and I believe here I just go for a Flash Cannon, because he goes into his Tentacruel. Now, like, you know, whatever he switches into, they're not going to want to take a Shadow. No, I go for Shadow Ball right here. I'm pretty positive. Like, yeah, Flash Cannon, whatever. I had it right the first time. Ain't nobody care, ain't nobody care, ain't nobody care. So, no matter what, I wanted to get off a little bit of damage, and that's exactly what I did. So, let me turn down this music a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. I love Childish Gambino. Oh my god, Childish Gambino is my favorite artist of all time. I go for a King Shield just to kind of scout out what he's going to do, and it turns out he's going to go for a Scald. So I'm like, what do I have that could take a Scald? And there's not much on my team that really wants to, except for maybe my Venusaur or my Dusclops. So the first thing I'm like, but I didn't know what to do. So I switch out to my Garchomp, and the reason why is because he can take a Scald, he can just eat it up, except for the fact that, no, I didn't get a burn, just kidding, haha, lol. But he's going to have the Black Sludge, he's going to go for a Protect, and he's going to try to, like, scout out what I'm doing. Now, this Garchomp, I decided to go for Outrage over Earthquake for a couple of reasons. He has two Flying-type Pokemon. Why would I want to go for an Earthquake whenever he has two Flying-type Pokemon that can just eat it up like it's nothing? So I go for an Earthquake, for an Outrage, and that did so much damage that it's not even funny. He goes for a Scald, gets me down to 39 HP, didn't get the burn. That was a good hacks in my favor. And now, he could switch out, but if the second he switches back in, he's going to die to Stealth Rocks. So I'm glad that he went for a Protect, because that means that it just makes for a more interesting battle. So I get the end of my Outrage. He's going to get the Black Sludge. I have to switch out because I don't take risks like that very often. And I go into my Dusclops. Now, Dusclops is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon in general, just because you can put an Eviolite on it, and he is so freaking bulky. Go for a Scald. It's going to do, it ain't nobody care except for he gets the burn. Excuse you? Yeah, keep up with me, man. Keep up with me. I don't understand how I can keep up whenever I'm burnt, man. So, he's going to withdraw his Talisman, which I was glad, because that thing was starting to give me a little bit of a run for my money. And he's going to go into his Mantark. I hope I pronounced that correctly. But I love, oh my gosh, you guys know how I feel about Drapion. The Scope Lens Sniper set, it is deadly and scary, and oh my Jesus, I never want to go against that crap. So I'm going to go for a King Shield, trying to scout out what he's going to do. He's going to go for an Earthquake, a Knockoff, whatever have him do. So he goes for a Knockoff the second time around, knocks off, but my weakness my Poly, guys, my weakness Poly. My weakness policy activates. I'm going to be at like plus 2069, and I'm just going to go for a Shadow Sneak, because I'm pretty sure, a Flash Cannon, I'm sorry. And I'm pretty sure this will take it out no matter what, because, you know, Aegislash is just a BA like that. So, now that his thingamabobber is down, what is it? Whatever, nobody care, nobody care. So I'm going to go for a King Shield because I'm predicting an Earth Power, a Flamethrower, something that would easily knock me out. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be like that. I just don't want to have that. But he goes for an Ice Beam instead. I think he did that just because he knew I was going for a King Shield, and it wouldn't have mattered. I go for a Shadow Sneak, and I'm like, this is definitely gonna die to a Shadow Sneak that's like +6. But it turns out I was wrong, and I'm just gonna die to a freaking Earth Power. But at least I got off a Shadow Sneak and some damage, because otherwise that could have been really bad if I thought that like I could have lived a kill or lived a hit and then gone for a Shadow Ball or whatever the heck could have happened. I'm going to go into my Garchomp, and because I am Scarfed, he probably predicted a Earthquake. And he goes into his Talisman, who is the Tentacruel, and I'm going to go for an Outrage. I'm going to keep on spamming Outrage with this thing just because I know for a fact that it is the best chance I have of knocking out that Crobat, that Golbat, whatever, because those things are scary, man. Have you ever tried to face up against a Choice Scarfed Crobat? That thing is almost impossible to kill. So, now that he has the Stealth Rock's damage, I'm going to go for an Outrage. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. That was gross. And I'm gonna be confused, and he's gonna go for a Roost. Now, this is wherever I kind of had to consider in my head if I was gonna be a greedy little douche, or if I was gonna be like whatever. And I didn't want to be greedy. I didn't want to go for an Outrage and risk the confusion hits. It wouldn't be fun. Going to my Dusclops, predicting the Toxic. And because I am burned, it wasn't gonna bother me, and I predicted right. And oh my gosh, there were some of my predictions in here that I was proud of, man. You guys know that I'm not the best at making predictions, but Jesus Christmas on high, I made some good predictions. He goes into his Fat Tack. Ain't nobody care. Actually, just kidding. That's actually, I'm trying to figure if that's Fatak or Fatat. You know what? I'm dyslexic. Me trying to deal with names like that and being dyslexic is not a good idea. He's going to go for an Earth Power after I'm burned, and that's just going to do so much damage. And I'm going to try to get the Trick Room up for a couple reasons. If I get the Trick Room up, I know for a fact that I can send in my Venusaur, and it will technically outspeed in the Trick Room compared to this stupid Nidoking. That's its name. So now that I have my Venusaur in here, which by the way, this is the event one that has Outrage and Seed Bomb. I love this thing. It's very good. And I'm going to go for an Outrage because I still don't want to risk having to use Earthquakes. It's not something that I like to do. So now he's going to go into his Golbat, and I'm just going to keep on hitting up the Outrage because, you know, I am slower than a Golbat. I don't know how it happens, but hey, it happens. And he's going to go for a Roost. Now, this thing could really mess me up if it could Toxic Stall me. If he could have Toxic Stalled me with my Aegislash and my Venusaur, he could have beat me. Like, no problem whatsoever, he could have beaten me. I'm going to go for an Outrage. It's not going to do a whole hell of a lot. Going to get confused because it's irrelevant. And he's going to go for a Roost. And I'm just like, whatever, man. Nobody cares. I love this song so much. Good lord, I could just listen to it real quick. Just listen. Yep, those are the boys. They go for Outrages. On Golbats, and they do nothing. I love this song. Oh my gosh. Anyway, he goes for a Brave Bird, and that's obviously going to do so much damage to a freaking Venusaur. Like, there's nothing I could do about that. But I do have the Black Sludge, so it's going to restore my health like a little bit. Now the Twisted Dimensions are going to go back, and he's going to outspeed me. Gonna go for a Roost, and it's just... This Golbat was the one thing I was really worried about. And I snap out of my confusion the first turn, go for an Outrage, get off hardly any damage at all, and it's just... and then I get confused. It's... I don't know. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do anymore. Black Sludge, help me out. Brave Bird, gonna kill me. I swear, this was the stalliest portion of the game, but right after I knew my Venusaur was going down, I was like, no matter what, I can get this. So, he's gonna be hurt a little bit to the, recoil, and I'm going to send in my Greninja. Now, I put extra sensory on my Greninja specifically for this battle, because I was like, you know what? psychic types, and that's just what I need. It's poison, oh my god, super effective damage, but it didn't kill. Excuse me, hello, he goes for a Roost, and yeah, it didn't quite matter, because Roost is only going to take him to a little bit over half, and obviously Extra Sensory did a whole heck of a lot more than just half. So I'm going to go for an Ice Beam instead, because it's a little bit more powerful, still super effective. Doesn't really matter. To each his own, I guess. Now, he's going to send in his goal. No, he has this thing. This thing, I do not know what the heck this thing would do. If it does Quiver Dance, if it does, I had no idea. But, and honestly, I couldn't even remember its typing, if it was Poison Bug or Poison Flying. I could not remember. So I was like, I'm just going to be safe, go for an Extra Sensory, and kill this thing off. I was scared for a minute. So now he's going to go into his last Pokemon, who is his, Crobat, and he's going to get hurt by the rocks, and he's going to go for a Brave Bird. Now, surprise, I carry the Focus Sash on my Greninja, because most people don't expect it, and that's perfect whenever you can get like the Brave Bird recoil, and then they have that little bit of health back, and you just smack him in the face with an Ice Beam, and they go down. They go down the Ice Beams, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the end of the first gym battle that I have won. That was, oh my gosh, very good battle. I love battling DooD. He's very, very great, and a very good friend too. Thank you very much for the battle. I look forward to all of our battles in the future. Make sure you guys leave a like and a comment down below. Make sure you go visit his channel, the Litheo League. Make sure you keep up on it, because it will be awesome. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!